Hey guys, it's Toby. Before this episode gets started, I just wanted to put a little disclaimer that something went wrong with our new recording equipment again. So the audio didn't turn out the best, but I hope you continue to listen to it because we have some very lovely guests on our show. So again, we're trying to work out the technical difficulties with all of our equipment, and I hope you can just bear with us through some of these little rough times that we go through. Anyways, I'm going to play some promos from some of our friends, and then it'll get into the episode. Thank you very much.
Hey there, fellow podcast fans. Do you love comic books, and especially Swamp Thing? Get out of the bayou. So do we. Come check out the Parlapod Show, the world's only podcast dedicated to the muck-encrusted mockery of a man himself, Swamp Thing. This is some serious arcane audio as we chat with comic book professionals, reviews, spoofs, talk about back issues. Everything swampy under the sun happens here. Give us a listen at parlapod.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, Podomatic, our YouTube channel, and we're on every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern on podcastradionetwork.net. Join your hosts, Dave and John, parlapod.com. Let's go into the green. We'll see you in the swamps.
Do you long for the good old Saturdays, filled with morning cartoons and sugary cereal? How about the lazy days, just vegging in front of the telly all afternoon? Well, I do, and that's why Saturday Morning Pajamas was created. Tune in every Wednesday and Saturday for a good old dose of nostalgia, B-movies, and the latest cinematic hits. Check us out at www.nonoms.net. That's www.nonoms.net.
Hey, this is Knock from the Geek Yogurt Podcast. Tune in every week as we discuss movies, TV, comics, and video games. We are on Podbean, iTunes, Satchel, or on your favorite podcast app. You can find us on Facebook or Twitter at Yogurt Podcast and weigh in on our weekly topics.
You are listening to the Secret Transmission Podcast, discussing conspiracies, paranormal, and the strange.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. This is a podcast about the strange and unusual, the secret and conspiracies, the fringe and the supernatural. This is a show where we do little to no research on our topics. We are not professionals in any field, except speculation. This is the Secret Transmission Podcast, and today we're going to be talking about the Philadelphia experiment. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. My name is Toby, and I am your host. I am sitting around with my co-host. Please introduce yourselves.
Kristen.
Rudy.
Tyler.
And we also have two very special guests on Skype with us doing their United States tour of podcasting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Tattoo Banana!
The Tattooed Bananas.
Yeah! We're here.
Hey, I've said y'all's name faster than y'all usually say it on y'all's show.
Well, I'm Finnus.
And I'm Bill.
It usually takes y'all a little while to introduce that y'all are the Tattooed Bananas, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. We usually make it,
we're
like
bad.
30, 35 minutes in before we actually remember that that's what we're supposed to do.
Well, today
It's just always so exciting.
y'all jump right in and y'all just skip past the name and just get right into it.
Yeah, that's what we try to do.
What are y'all drinking?
I have chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But in honor of what the topic is tonight, I've put some Philadelphia cream cheese right into it, so it made it into a Philly cream cheese float. It's delicious.
Well, that is what we're going to talk about today, is the Philadelphia experiment. Do you guys know what the Philadelphia experiment was before we brought it up as a topic?
Yes. No.
I'm clueless. I don't
Yeah,
know anything
there we
for some
go.
reason.
It's a great one.
Yeah, it is.
Did y'all ever see the movie from like 1980?
I never saw it. No, but
No.
it's definitely on the list of something I want to check out.
Yeah, I've never watched it. I heard it doesn't hold up though.
Yeah, it's probably like one of those goofy sci-fi. It's probably like in the realm of Sharknado.
Right.
Philly experiment.
So, the Philadelphia experiment was a. Yep. There's my world famous messing up so much.
One.
They've been counting it with the new episodes. They've been starting to count every time I mess up. So that's the counter.
Well, it's funny. I have that in my notes right here too. It said the Philadelphia experiment was a. That is scientifically accurate.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
at least I'm on the right track. So
yeah, you got it. You're good.
the Philadelphia experiment was a naval military experiment at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sometime around August 12th, 1943, or October 28th, 1943. People claim different dates, so that's why there's two different dates, and we'll get to that later. The plan was to make the USS Eldridge invisible. They wanted to cloak the ship to the human eye for a short time period, and most people believe that this was part of a project called Project Rainbow. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history about the ship, just a real summed up history. The USS Eldridge was DE-173. It's a destroyer escort. It was launched on July 25th, 1943. It was placed out of commission in reserve on June 17th, 1946. On January 1951, it was transferred to Greece, where it was named JS Leon D-54. It was later decommissioned on November 5th, 1992, and sold as scrap on November 1999. So the reason I'm giving all these dates is these dates, the ship was in commission during the Philadelphia experiment, which was, what'd I say, October... I lost my notes.
43? Yeah.
October 28th. So it was in commission.
Yeah. No, I had something else too where it said that it wasn't even in the United States until like October of that year, like later on, because it said it was in the Bahamas. And supposedly it said it never went to Philadelphia, but that's like just the debunking of the whole conspiracy theory, so I guess those dates could have been made up and documents forged.
Right, yeah, see, and that's what a lot of the conspiracy theorists think, is that the military has gone back and forged the documents to make it match up to...
Right.
You know, where they can say, oh, anyone that says this happened is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
The experiment is open to speculation of what they were testing. Some of the possibilities were magnetic invisibility, radar invisibility, optical invisibility, or degaussing to make the ship immune to magnetic mines and missiles. Sorry, I have to pause sometimes. I edit it out. We're very heavily edited, by the way.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever Pokemon you got to go after, you get them.
You know it.
Don't stop on our account.
Eevee was in the yard.
The believed plans for the experiment were the believed plans that for the experiment that were actually tested was by wrapping a electromagnetic. God damn it! That's another one I can't say. Electromagnetic.
Electromagnetic?
I can't say electromagnetic. It was supposed to like.
We're getting you flashcards.
It was supposed to be like an electromagnetic bottle that would wrap around the ship to either absorb or deflect radar waves. The bottle was created by some claim that it was 2, some claim that it was 4 massive Tesla coils, which acted as electromagnetic, said it there, generators.
Nailed it.
1 or 2 was mounted at the front, and 1 or 2 were mounted at the back to make this work. Others say a bunch of magnetic generators were used. When activated, the electromagnetic field would extend out from the ship and divert radar waves around them, making them invisible to any radar receiver. So what is claimed happened when the tests were actually started, the electromagnetic field increased in strength and actually extended out about 100 yards in all directions of the ship, forming a large sphere, and the ship became a fuzzy, energy green, hazy color, and eventually started to fade out, and you could just see the outline of the boat and the sailors on it, and a blue flash happened and they disappeared. The ship instantly transported a couple 100 miles to Norfolk, Virginia. After a few minutes, the ship disappeared again, only to reappear in Philadelphia. So that's they teleported, more or less.
Yeah, the crazy stuff happens.
Right. But that's not even the craziest part about this.
No, it gets even better.
So, the crew apparently didn't work out for them as well. You know, the ship manifested and it was okay. But for the crew, the phasing effect when it disappeared had a drastic effect on them. During the experiment, the crew members found that they could walk through solid objects. But when the experiment was shut down and everything began to solidify, the men found themselves embedded in walls, decks, and railings of the ship. Mm-hmm. So, it wasn't a good day for the sailors. So, Tyler, he's a Navy man. He just recently got out. Did you ever phase through any walls or anything?
Okay.
I can't say I have.
So...
Oh, you're not allowed to say it, are you?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of the men went crazy
it's
after
been
this. Some of the men just vanished. They were just gone. Some of the men entered into what is called the freeze. This is where a man faded from view, unable to move, speak, or otherwise affect his surroundings. So he was a ghost, pretty much. And initially, the freeze effect lasted only a few minutes to a few hours. The invisible crew members were still visible to the other sailors who had survived the original experiment. So, if we were all on the boat and, I don't know, Bill starts fading out, we could still see him, but anyone else that wasn't on the ship couldn't see him. He was just gone like a ghost.
Yeah, they're within that field.
Lost my place. Sorry. We're very unprofessional.
Hey, that's fine. We definitely don't do any prepreration for our show either.
Yeah, no, not at all.
We just jump into it and see what happens. No, we don't have any idea what's going on.
So, the deep freeze would also drive these men insane. The only way to counteract this was for another survivor to place their hand on them to bring them back. They had a name for it, and I forgot to write it down. But if you put your hand on the person that's turning into a ghost, you could bring them back. They stopped doing this, though, after 2 of the men burst into flames while trying to bring the other one back. And apparently they both stayed burning for 18 days, and they weren't able to put them out.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff that was reported.
I never heard that one before.
Yeah, that one was
nuts.
That one was a weird one that that was the only really, really weird one that I found for this. Seeing the horrible after effects of the experiment, the Navy discontinued all further research into radar and optical invisibility. The surviving crewmen were discharged as mentally unfit for duty, and many were placed in insane asylums. Science was not quite done conducting research on electromagnetic fields or radar and its effect on the human mind. Project Rainbow may have been disbanded, but the Phoenix Project was just getting started. I didn't look into the Phoenix Project, but I think that's probably going to come up again in the future, and we'll have to look more into that. you doing?
I'm going to the bathroom.
Oh.
Was this
Is there a
still the
Pokemon
briefing
there?
of the ship?
Huh? Yeah, well, no.
You said brief.
Hey, well, no.
I gotta pee.
You go pee then. Don't flush the toilet. Take your e-cig, stupid.
There could be a Pokemon in there. You don't want to drown.
That's where she's going. The freaking
Yeah.
yard.
Where's her phone? Her phone's right here.
So you should hide her phone, that way she can't catch Pokemon.
So, in the 1930s, Nikola Tesla was involved with a group that was experimenting with moving through time and space. Also, in the 30s, the University of Chicago investigated the possibility through the use of electricity. Jesus. In 1939, the project was moved to Princeton's Institute of Advanced Studies. This isn't too far from from Philadelphia. They were able to make small objects invisible. They presented this technology to the government. The military wanted to pursue it for obvious war tactics. The government conducted a test using animals on the USS Eldridge at the New York Navy Yard on August 27th, 1943. That's why people say that there's two different dates, because they believe that they were already doing these tests before the main Philadelphia experiment happened. When they did this, they did make the animals invisible, but when they materialized, many of the animals were missing. Some had radiation, and others had burn marks.
No extra genitalia.
No, I don't think they had extra limbs or extra nothing. But
not that it was reported. But then again, it could have happened, and we just didn't know about it.
Right. So there's a story that how this originally got leaked out. One of the ways it got leaked out was there's a bunch of sailors from the Philadelphia experiment, and they were at a bar drinking, and they
Sounds about right.
Says the sailor man. So they got into a fight, and when they started fighting with everyone, they started turning invisible, and that's when people were like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Right. I hadn't heard that one either.
Well, and see,
that's a great way to fight.
Right.
Invisible?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you start a giant bar fight, and then you just go invisible, and you're like, "Oh, game over. I don't have to do anything
Hit
else."
someone with a chair, and then be like, "Invisible." So, the main way that this all came to the light, though, was a guy named Carl Meredith Allen. He went by the name Carlos Miguel Allen. I can't say his last name, so we're just going to call him Allen. Mm-hmm. He sent a series of letters to an astronomer and a writer, Morris K. Jessup. Jessup wrote several UFO books, including The Case for the UFO. Jessup also believed that a breakthrough revision of Albert Einstein's unified field theory would be a critical in powering a future generation of spacecraft. So, in that book, Jessup talks about Albert Einstein's unified field theory, which is too much science for me to understand what it is exactly. But this Allen guy contacted him thinking that theory has something to do with the time travel and the teleportation. So that's why he started sending this guy letters in the mail. Allen claimed that he was on the SS Andrew... How do you say that, Kristen?
Furcith?
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 Furcith? The USS Furcith? Andrew Furcith?
Furcith.
Okay. During the second experiment, which was the one where all the Navy men turned invisible, he said he witnessed it from that other ship. He saw it emerge in the waters of Norfolk and quickly disappear into thin air. As proof, here, you can read some of this, Kristen, because you like to read.
I don't say that. What is it?
Read that.
Must be a lot of big words in it.
No, I just want her to read because I'm tired of reading.
As proof of these fantastic claims, Allende referred vaguely to articles in unnamed regional papers and listed a few names of persons with whom he supposedly witnessed this experiment. He left the trail cold when no proof was able to be presented. In 1957, Jessup was contacted by the Office of Naval Research, ONR, in Washington, D.C., and was asked to study the contents of a package that they had received. It was a paperback copy of his book, The Case for the UFO. It had been mailed to the ONR in a manila envelope and had Happy Easter written on it. The book had been heavily annotated to the margins with 3 different ink colors. The ONR officer asked Jessup if he knew who had done this. I can't see because of the microphone. Sorry, y'all. The ONR claimed that the annotations appeared to detail a correspondence among 3 individuals, only one of which is given a name, Jimmy. The ONR labeled the other 2 Mr. A and Mr. B. The annotators referred to each other as gypsies and discussed 2 different types of people living in outer space. The notes were written with capitalization and punctuation marks in the wrong spots. Their references to the Philadelphia experiment suggested prior or superior knowledge. One example is that Mr. B reassures his fellow annotators who have highlighted a certain theory which Jessup advanced. Based on the handwriting style and subject matter, Jessup identified Mr. A as Allen. Some people believe the other 2 handwritings were also Allen.
So, basically what's happened is Allen tried to get Jessup to look into the Philadelphia experiment, and he could give 2 shits less about it because there was no proof behind it. So Allen took it upon himself to get his book and write all these little notes in it and then send it to the Navy and say, look, this is exactly what you used for your time travel teleportation. And now the Navy is like, hey, Jessup, this is your book. Do you know who's doing this?
Right.
So he had the previous letters, matched them up and everything. Where are we at?
The annotated book supposedly sparked sufficient interest for the ONR to fund a small printing of the volume by the Texas-based Vero Manufacturing Company. A 2003 transcription of the annotated Vero edition is available online, complete with 3 color notes. Later, the ONR contacted Jessup, claiming that the return address on Allende's, I don't know how to say that name, letter to Jessup was an abandoned farmhouse. They also informed Jessup that the Vero Corporation, a research firm, was preparing a print copy of the annotated version of the case for the UFO, complete with both letters he had received. About 100 copies of the Vero edition were printed and distributed within the Navy. Jessup was also sent 3 for his own use. Jessup attempted to make a living writing on the subject of UFOs, but his follow-up books did not sell well, and his publisher rejected several other manuscripts. And in 1958, his wife left him with his friends, described him as being depressed and somewhat unstable when he traveled to New York. After returning to Florida, he was involved in a serious car accident and was slow to recover, which added to his depression.
So this is where it's about to get strange again. So, God damn it. What did you just do? Sorry, we're not used to so many wires around us.
They can't see us.
I know, Kristen almost...
She really had to catch that one, man.
It's a gas. Sorry.
Put your phone down.
Jesus. Everyone's pulling out their phones to play Pokemon right now.
It's a gas leak.
I'm sorry. I almost died trying to grab my phone. This is bullshit.
God.
It's not my fault. You're the one who introduced us to the game.
I didn't know you could play Pokemon.
Oh, you blame the dealer.
What? You haven't heard about the new...
Pokemon Go?
Bill's behind the
Focus,
times.
guys. Focus.
While your
See, we got...
Why your routes to going where you're going are so slow because
Alright,
people are stopping in front of you to get Pokestops?
So, he was in this accident, and on April 19th, 1959, Jessup contacted Dr. Mason Valentine and arranged to meet with him the next day, claiming to have made a breakthrough regarding an event known as the Philadelphia experiment. So this guy didn't have any clue about it. He was going to meet up with them and figure out like what was going on. The next day, Jessup was found dead in Dade County, Florida, with a hose between the exhaust pipe and a rear window of his vehicle, filling his car with toxic exhaust fumes.
Suicide.
Yeah, a little curious.
Dade County.
What'd I say?
I don't know.
Oh, whatever.
Dade County.
Dade County's good. So, some of his friends claim that he possibly had been driven to suicide by the case of the Allen or whatever. Other friends said that he was extremely depressed, just from going through the divorce, the car accident, everything, leading up to it. And that he had been discussing suicide with his friends for several months before he acted. So, you want to read this?
Yeah,
This
I'll read
Pokemon Queen?
Sorry.
Right here.
Okay. Wait, the office?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
The Office of Naval Research, ONR, stated in September 1996, ONR has never conducted investigations on radar invisibility either in 1943 or at any other time, pointing out that the ONR was not established until 1946. It denounces the accounts of the Philadelphia's experiment as complete science fiction. A reunion of Navy veterans who had served aboard the USS Eldridge told a Philadelphia newspaper in April 1999 that their ship had never made port in Philadelphia. Further evidence discounting the Philadelphia experiment timeline comes from the USS Eldridge Complete World War II Action Report, including the remarks section of the 1943 deck log available in microfilm.
So, they're, again, the Navy's saying, we didn't ever try crap like that.
And now they're making everybody else say so, too.
Maybe. So, everyone that was on the ship is Tyler. Tyler's smiling real big.
Paid them mofos off.
What do you know, Tyler?
I know nothing.
They're like Oprah. You get a Navy ship. You get a Navy ship. You get a Navy ship.
Okay.
It sounds like he knows more than he's letting on.
He does. He knows
He
something about
smiles and giggles, he
reptilians.
knows.
Oh god, not this
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Not this.
I've been interrogated like 3 times already.
So tired of being interrogated about what I already know.
So, many believe that Carl Allen had established history of psychiatric illness. God damn it! Shut up.
I'm sorry.
And who may have fabricated the primary history of the experiment as a result of his illness. Many men had came forward claiming to be him, but they could never produce a semen number. Semen joke.
I'll always laugh at that.
What's your semen count?
Do you know your
boy?
semen number?
Yeah, why haven't we made any semen jokes for Tyler?
I know,
Oh, trust
right?
me. He got them a lot when he first came back after boot camp.
Oh yeah.
Do you know your semen number?
Yeah, is it in the billions?
Is it
Answer
fertile?
the question.
Well, see, all these guys kept coming forward with their number, or they were coming forward saying that they were the Allen guy that wrote the letters originally, but the real Allen put his number on the letters, so they couldn't match anything. So they were all turned down.
Copycats.
Yeah, just trying to get some kind of fame, I guess. I don't know. So, because a lot of people were making money publishing the books and stuff and like reprinting his letters, the real Allen got pissed off because everyone's making money off of his original letters. In 1969, he ended up turning himself in to the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization office in Tucson, Arizona, and confessed the entire thing was a hoax. I read that all without missing a word.
I was very proud of you because
Hell
I knew
yeah.
it was going to be doomed from the beginning. When I saw that aerial phenomenon,
I know.
I
I shit when I saw that. I was like, oh no, Kristen should have read this.
He's under.
Apparently on July 8th, 1979, Allen had recanted his confession, but I really couldn't find anything else on this. All the sites I went to look up the information on Allen, they were always in German or French or languages I don't know.
You can't speak those?
I can't speak those.
Dang. Translator.
Yeah. He ended up dying in 1994. I couldn't figure out from what, but he died in a nursing home.
Yeah, but who's to say that he ever even came in there and said anything? That's just what they could have been saying. He may have never even shown back up.
Well, they finally found his brother and like found all his family, and they interviewed him. I listened to an interview with his brother, and
And who say he turned himself in, and then since he was never seen again, Did his family even see him, or did the government do something with him?
What do you think the government did with him?
Killed him on that boat, so he's haunted by it forever.
He's one of the Invisibles.
Yeah. He's one of the ghosts that they try to light on fire.
So, with everything looking like it may be a hoax, I got a few questions to ask. Why did the Office of Naval Research, the ONR, come and question the writer Morris K. Jessup over the notes left on the book in the book that was sent to him? Like, why were they concerned with some crazy man's notes?
Maybe there was something
Yeah, it usually
specific.
lends some credibility to something.
Yeah, maybe there was something specific that he mentioned in it that's like, oh, hey, this guy knows something. They were just trying
Either
to
knows too much, or he made it sound too good to where it would have made them look bad.
Right.
But it wasn't. It didn't have anything to do with Jessup. It was this Allen guy. That, well, I guess.
Well, they don't know that. I mean, I could sit here and write notes on the side of my own book and be like, "Oh, look what some crazy person did."
So they met Morris and they met Alan, the two different people.
Yes.
Okay, because I was gonna say, what if it was the same person? That would have been cool.
He's got multiple personalities.
No,
Well,
like
see,
writers, like different authors
the
that
Alan-
write underneath a different name.
The Allen guy that actually wrote in the book with all the notes, he used 3 different shades of ink. But he was trying to act like 3 different people. That's why they called him Jesse,
Mr. A, Mr. B,
and Jimmy.
Yeah.
So he was trying to be. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he had all kinds of notes, and apparently that's what one of the things in the interview I listened to with his brother. They had said something along the lines of he used to do that in all his books, and then he would send them to the authors to show his perspective on whatever book he was reading.
It's just so that he would never get found, I'm sure.
Okay.
That way. And maybe that way he looked crazy and no one would ever come back to him, but it still is good information.
I don't know.
Yeah, but if you wanted to stay credible, why would you make yourself look crazy? That doesn't make
He
any
didn't want to be
sense.
credible until people started pretending to be him. And then he got pissed because they were making him look like a complete fucking idiot.
Well, that's why you don't go crazy when on the get-go. You go with, hey, I'm legit from the start.
But is there any way that they pretty much claim the Navy says, nope, we didn't try any kind of test to do this, and they came after him, like they seeked him out after reading his notes.
Right.
Is there not anything fishy about that?
What do they think?
What do you guys think?
I think there's got to be. I mean, and then the way he ends up dying too. I don't know. Did you guys ever read the book Behold a Pale Horse? You got to check that out. There's a really good chapter in there about the Philadelphia experiment. And same kind of thing. The guy who ended up writing, supposedly, he was in the Navy and he worked for Naval Research, and he ended up dying under mysterious circumstances. And it kind of parallels with what happened with Jessup. I mean, this guy that wrote the book, William Cooper, he didn't die until, I want to say, like late 90s. But just same kind of curious stuff that goes on, like where people start writing about things that, maybe a lot of conspiracy circles look at as, kind of like their keystones to it. But then, you get some organizations that come and question you, and, it kind of lends that credibility that there is something real going on here, and maybe you've stumbled upon too much.
See, and that's what a lot of people believe, that this gets legs because the Navy did kind of say, hey, where's this guy at? We need to talk to him. Mm-hmm. So that's what sometimes makes these things that may be nothing credible, is that the government went looking for it. Like, if they would have never asked about the book or anything, this wouldn't be anything right now. This would just be one guy with just a weird story, like,
Well,
hey, I
that's what I'm
saw
saying,
something.
Like, it could have been. That's why they could have been looking for him because it was either good, or they could have been looking for him because it was like, oh, you're making too much, like headway on this, and you're making a big story around us when we don't need it right now. Because in 58 there was a lot going on, wasn't there? That's when it said it happened. 58 there was.
No,
World War II was over.
Yeah,
it was just ending though, right? So
Cold War.
Was it
Cold
Korea?
War's
So
going
see,
on.
so I mean, they didn't need all that attention. They didn't need all this
When was
crazy
Yeah,
stuff
that's
going
true.
on.
A long time.
Yeah, it's a big period of time.
A lot happened in '58 because that's when my mom was
After
born. And I
World
remember
War
her
II.
telling me all that.
That's whenever tensions got high between.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So-
Yeah, it was probably height of the Cold War, so they probably didn't want too much else coming out if they were doing other experiments or, testing other things.
Do you think it could be something that maybe the Navy didn't want, that maybe they wanted to talk to this guy because they didn't want to give other countries ideas or something?
Maybe
It's
they were
possible.
like, "Come join us because we don't know how to do this, and you seem to know all about it. So let's make this happen." That's what they were doing. They were just trying to get him on their team.
Yeah, maybe that was part of it too. They were trying to recruit him, and he didn't want any part of it. You know what I mean? Who knows what kind of conversations could have went on when they went to talk to him about everything.
Right. What about the fact that Jessup, how he committed suicide?
I think that's all.
So a lot of the reports that I read said that it was just one guy that said that he was even working on anything related to the Philadelphia experiment, because he had kind of given up on that and tried to keep writing books about UFOs and stuff, and
Right.
all of a sudden he comes back with, "Oh, I've got something on the Philadelphia experiment," to just one guy, ends up dead the next day. But
Yeah, it's a little bizarre timing.
yeah, but that he only told one guy is what makes that, maybe that's like a after the fact, like someone added that info, just to make this whole case weirder.
But that one guy knows all the right people. That's all it takes. And then, if the Navy,
yeah.
being such a high power, then they come after that guy. They could have drove him crazy to do it, or it could have been staged.
Well,
True.
And maybe he felt his family was in danger, and that was his only way out to just keep his family safe.
in our previous episodes, we've noticed, in our Ed Gein, I always go back to the Ed Gein episode because it's easiest. It's easy for people to, backtrack and say, oh, he was crazy. He was always crazy. You may have never said that someone's crazy up until after they've done something crazy, and then you're like, oh, I knew it. There was always something off about him. So it makes...
pull the crazy out of him.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if this guy was, remembering him talk about the Philadelphia experiment and this guy coming up, and maybe he was just like, oh, I think he was going to tell me something about that, and then he killed himself the next day.
Maybe
retro
he knew just
plugging it into...
into much over his head. He
Does that
knew
make
that it was
sense?
going to be bad.
Well, I'm saying,
No.
let's just say a month later, he starts telling people, yeah, it's real weird. The day before he died, he was wanting to talk to me about this, but that conversation never happened. It's something maybe he...
But if the Navy was watching him after the initial incident with the book, and he, told someone, hey, I know something, they overheard that.
The Navy could have been watching
Yeah.
all along. In
Right.
fact, we got a Navy man right here in front of us, and he could be
Exactly.
watching us because we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And it's conspiracy things, and you could be running back and telling them.
It could have been them damn Soviets that killed him.
Oh, blame it on the Soviets.
It was probably them.
Do you think that he was murdered, or do you think it was suicide?
I think he was murdered.
Murdered. I say murdered.
Yeah,
I
I
think
say
it was a
murder.
hit.
You think it was a hit?
If he was living a happy
Soviet
life.
spies.
As we've covered before, the government's not very nice when it comes to keeping their secrets, so... I'd
Yeah,
say
I mean,
murder.
we did that on the John F. Kennedy thing.
Right.
Wait, did we do the John F. Kennedy thing?
No, we haven't.
We talk about it.
No, we
We've
just
talked
really
about
talk
doing
about
it.
it.
So, have you heard of the Montauk Project?
A little bit, yeah. Just from reading up on this again.
You're gonna have to refresh my memory, because I'm not sure.
I figure we're going to do a full episode, so I'm just going to give the bare bones of this. Basically, they continued the research from the Philadelphia experiment. And it's really ridiculous. So they are trying to work on time travel, teleportation. They're working with aliens. Someone ends up coming. They go back to the Philadelphia experiment and steal the technology and bring it back to now. I don't know. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that happened. But apparently that's tied into all of this.
Huh.
Now, do you think this would have anything to do with Jessup being murdered?
Oh, that's a possibility. Yeah, you didn't think about people going back and forth through time. If we're gonna accept that as a reality here.
Well,
we'll just throw that out.
With the guy that jumps back and forth or whatever, and then he tries to kill himself, but it's his younger self killing his older
Hot Tub
self
Time
or
Machine?
something.
No, is it Looper? Looper.
Yeah.
Looper. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we knew.
Ooh, what if it is like a Looper situation?
Yeah.
Where whenever they show up, they try to, like, the gun to the head.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and he's pointing it at himself, and it's like Inception and Land Before Time, and everything just thrown.
But only this
Bring your
time it's
cradle?
somebody holding a hose from the back of an exhaust.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, I'm in the passenger seat. God, go again. Supposed to be in the
All right,
driver's seat.
We figured it out.
It's Looper.
Well, I mean,
Ghost ship.
like I said, we'll really get into the Montauk Project one day, but it's the aliens helping the government is what always throws me off. Now, it may be reptilians. I don't remember. I watched like a 6-minute video and I was like, okay, this is a lot deeper than I really want to go into this right now.
It's always reptilians.
Oh god.
Hey, I'm telling you, Tyler's logo on his ship
Crocodilian son of
had a
bitches.
reptilian on it, and he won't admit it. Admit it. Right
It
now.
had a crocodile on there.
Oh, see, he's trying to just wiggle his way out of it.
Yeah, he's trying to make it sound not so sinister. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a crocodile.
It's a poor little crocodile.
But
Yeah, it's just a crocodile eating the earth. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
the crocodile is standing up. It looks like it's running, doesn't it?
yeah, it's running and
I
holding the
can't
earth
remember.
and smiling.
That's that shirt, not even mine.
Yeah.
It's like a Ninja Turtles villain.
The Ninja Turtles are gonna save us from the reptilians.
Yeah.
I'd
So-
watch that movie.
So,
I'm gonna take the Jessup way out if that happens.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding.
that was bad. Ooh, that was bad.
Wow.
You're talking about the same person who said it's okay to eat out of skull cereal bowls.
Oh yeah. Also in the Ed Gein episode, she did say she would eat out of skull bowls.
I said at least he
Skull
was
bowls.
utilizing every part of that he got.
That's
I mean-
fantastic. Are they dishwasher safe?
I think we
sure.
talked about that too.
I'm definitely sure they
Then
are.
you're okay. You're fine.
Heat resistant, so
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
you can even put it on the heat.
Put it in the
heat
microwave?
cycle.
Oh yeah, what does that smell like?
It's got to be so good.
Oh, just brain matter.
Leftovers would be amazing.
Ugh.
I don't know, but I'll have 5, please. Keep them coming. What's in this little cup? I don't care. Keep sending them down.
But, like, you can drink out of your teacup. I'm gonna drink out of my skull cup.
There we go.
Oh, that's badass.
So, Phineas, you said that your grandfather worked at a fire station in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, he was a civilian fire captain at the Naval Yard after World War II. He was a fighter pilot in the Air Force, and then he worked for the fire department, and eventually he became captain. But he told my dad, he died a long time ago when I was younger, probably like 20 some odd years ago. But he used to talk to my dad about it a lot, and he would talk about, you know, some of the older sailors that would come through, and they would tell stories about they witnessed the experiment, and the same kind of stories that, you know, you were talking about before about some of the sailors being fused to the ship, you know, people disappearing, people bursting into flames. It was all things that, you know, he didn't see firsthand, but he got from, you know, accounts from other people coming through the Naval Yard.
Weird.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did he ever meet any of the? Well, I mean, I know you probably don't know for sure, but did he ever meet any of the sailors? You think?
That's what my dad had said, because that's where he said most of the stories came from. He didn't take them from, you know,
Your
like,
dad's side of the family is always getting into trouble, man.
I know, it's true. It's true.
First the pirate thing, and then this.
Yeah. The pirate thing.
Yeah, when all right, so my great uncle is Sir Francis Drake, the English sea pirate who defeated the Spanish Armada.
Jeez.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
so he goes way back. So now you know part of my name. So part of it is
Sir
is
Francis?
Great. Yeah. No, I'm not going with anything silly like Sir Francis. I stick with Phineas. So yeah, I got the pirate side, and then this weird Philadelphia experiment side too. So that's what my dad had always talked about, and he would tell other stories about how they developed like different technologies there. He told me a story about how they were working on a boat it was shaped like a cigar, and he remembers my grandfather going down there just to check it out because they had it dry docked, and then there was like a line that went around the entire side of the boat, and there were no windows. It didn't look like there was any entry points, but they claimed that they could get it to float within an inch of this line. And he said, you know, damned if they didn't. They dropped it in the water a week later, and there it was, just floating along. And he said he never saw it again, but he said there was a lot of strange things that came out of the naval yard, but the one he talks about the most was the experiment.
Tyler, care to explain?
This is all news to me. Never heard of such a thing.
It makes me wonder, like, how many people actually saw both events. Like, you know, it happening. Where did I say it happened? Where they ended up?
Norfolk. Oh, Norfolk.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me wonder, like, because this Allen dude, he says he saw it. So was he the only one on that ship that saw it happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. The other thing that I read too was that supposedly, and so some of the people that saw, you know, the Eldridge go from Philly to Norfolk, you know, within a matter of seconds, they claimed that they were on merchant ships and they didn't have the same access to the same rivers that the people at the naval yard would have. And they said they could have made a day trip from Philly to Norfolk using the Chesapeake and the Delaware outlets, and supposedly that was part of where the debunking came in too, but that's, you know, that's for, I guess, somebody else to figure out. But if you're saying it's there in a matter of seconds and then back, I don't think it's the same kind of thing as, you know, people not being able to correspond with each other about when it got there and when it left.
Right. See, that's what I've heard too. That, you know, it disappeared from one bay, and it showed up in another like 3 minutes later.
Right.
And then it phased out, and it came back within like seconds after it left.
Yeah,
So there was that
the-
whole time
I
travel
can't get
possible
behind
aspect
that
to it
part.
too.
No, you're not behind it, Bill?
No. I like the rest of the story. I could buy, like, maybe you can make it vanish somehow, like a magician or some shit. But to have it show up somewhere else, like, there's no way, dude. Like, if you could teleport, I'd be doing it already. I'll tell you right now.
Well, see, they did. I saw one interview where they interviewed a magician or something, or they had a magician that claimed that he could make a boat disappear.
Was it Chris Angel?
Huh? Yeah, Chris Angel.
David Copperfield.
I don't remember who it was, but they questioned him, like, can you make a boat disappear? And what he ended up doing was making a picture of a boat disappear or something goofy like that.
It was him in the bathtub just trying to put a boat underneath his butt.
But see, he did tell them, like, I do have some ideas on how to help y'all's how to be invisible. I'm quoting invisible. And apparently he did talk to them, and he died, took it to his grave of whatever he told them, supposedly.
Oh, more conspiracy.
So, I don't know, Tyler. What do you know about that? Tyler hates when I call him out. Like, he looks at me like, I'm gonna fucking kill you when we hit stop.
Magician, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I watch so many videos on YouTube to get my research on this.
You know what? I feel confident the United States is safe because we have the information from a magician.
Wait, Tyler, were you a naval magician?
I wish. That should be.
Oh, that would have been so good.
Let's just say he was a magician. He was hiding balls.
Oh,
Would it be like a belly button magician?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
What's a belly button magician?
Yeah.
He's a naval magician.
Perfect.
He still hasn't got it. He's still looking at me like, what?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Naval. The naval.
Oh.
Had to spell it out for you.
Thank you.
So good. Maybe that's where this all comes from. Maybe Jessup was killed because he didn't want to be a naval magician. And then, what was it? Carl Allen? Same kind of thing. He wouldn't get on board with it. So it was them trying to form a traveling band of naval magicians. And nobody
they
wanted...
just go like innie to outie and back again. In rhythm to a song or something. I don't know.
Maybe that's how they
pretty tight though.
That's how you time travel or teleport. Is you make your innie go to an outie and keep doing that.
It's like Stomp, but with your belly button.
I'm going to have to try that when we're done. I'm going to see if I can get my innie to become an outie.
I think you can do it.
If you can get it to go fast enough, I think you can generate enough kinetic energy to... I'm trying to sound scientific.
You got it. Keep going.
I was going with it, and then I realized I don't know science words.
Just say like electrons and neutrons a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's it. If your belly button goes in and out at 88 miles per hour, you can time travel.
Perfect.
There it is.
Perfect. Is that the unified field theory?
I think that's what
we stumbled upon.
Einstein was sitting there like, guys, it's all about the belly button.
Yeah. Well, no, he was playing with his rectum, and it just wasn't doing it.
He's like, this rectum playing isn't working out for me. It's
wrong orifice. Wrong orifice.
So I think we figured it out.
Yeah, I think we could all time travel. If y'all want to time travel here to complete y'all's tour, I guess I should elaborate on what I'm talking about so people know.
Please.
They're trying to be on a podcast in every state.
Yes.
How many have y'all made it to so far?
This would be.
How many does Canada count for?
Yeah. -2.
Yeah.
So we're at like 1.
Yeah. Yeah, we did one with a gentleman in Ohio on the Random Chatterings podcast. Ollie, he was super fun.
And we did the one from Illinois too, right? With Jed.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we did the Man Afraid podcast. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
That was a while ago. That was pre nationwide tour. But the best part about the one that we did with the dude from Ohio, he thought we were actually going to be on the road physically. So he was all about us showing up at his house and recording in person, which I think is even more amazing because he was going to let 2 complete strangers into his home. Maybe he hadn't listened to the show before and he didn't know what kind of things we were going to talk about because things got weird.
Or maybe he has a Buffalo Bills type of hole down in his basement and
that's true.
Puts the lotion on his skin.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that we could have been on the
I would
receiving
push you
end
into
of
that
all
hole
pain.
and run.
I know.
Sorry.
I know. You would turn the hose on me first before you ran. You
That's
sick
true,
son
yeah.
of a bitch.
I would say put the lotion in the basket at least once.
Oh.
He's coming for you, and you're like, I just gotta lower this lotion first.
Yep. Wait, I gotta get this in. So yeah, if anybody else out there, would care to have us on, we'd love to get this whole great country of ours represented through our guest spots.
Yeah. America coming to a town near you via podcast and Skype.
Yep.
Through Skype. Make sure that is the main word, Skype.
Yes.
You won't be knocking on their door.
No. Well, yeah. We'll have to make that clear.
You never know.
Their technological backdoor.
There we go.
Well, Kristen ran away. I don't know where she went. But do y'all guys have any more to talk about on the Philadelphia experiment? Have we decided that we figured out that... honestly, though, like, what are your thoughts? Do you think that any of this is true? Part of it's true?
I don't know, but it's a neat idea. The thought of phasing in and out and those guys being like caught in the middle of the ship and all that stuff. It's a neat story, if nothing else.
I thought it was pretty cool. I actually watched something from the History Channel for the first time in like 5 years, and I was like, man, I missed this channel. So thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it and getting me out to a little bit out of my comfort zone. So it's pretty cool. But like I said before, I can get behind almost all the story. It's just the teleportation thing. That's just mind-boggling to me.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I buy it, and it's not just the family connection. Talking with my dad about stuff. I totally get on board with it. Anything that's got to do with alien technology potentially, because I think there's way more out there than we're privy to. So I buy it.
Tyler's sweating when you said that.
Yes.
You know what? I believe
feeling
it actually.
He's
happened
losing
too.
semen.
I believe the Navy would, do that, then they'd hide it, because they'd probably want to save it to like a next major war or something.
That's my adopted dad. My adopted dad was a Navy man.
Was he?
Yeah, and he's like almost 60. I bet you he's heard stories because he was on there. He was on a submarine base and everything. Like went off on the submarine.
Yeah, you should get him on. That'd be cool.
I totally didn't even think about that. I'm sorry.
We may have to extend this episode.
We can call him. Look, he's always
Special
there when
guest.
I call.
What do you think, though? Do you think any of this is true? All of it's true? Half of it's true? A quarter of it's true?
I can believe in it. I mean, my dad used to sing a bunch of songs about some crazy stuff, and some of it had to do with weird stuff that happened on the ships. He even said that they saw mermaids before. So,
Tyler, did you ever see a mermaid?
I wish.
My dad
don't say
sang
the
a
Little
song about
Mermaid.
a seafarer chanting, and it was a mermaid. And so, there was a bunch of things that my dad always talked about, but I never really got to sit down with him. So now it gives me a reason I should probably sit down with him and ask him what really went on.
Yeah. Wait, he used to sing songs about it?
Yeah, my dad, so I was adopted when I was 13, and whenever I went and lived with my family, my adopted dad, the way that he got us me and my sister to sleep, and me and my brother, so me and my sister shared a room, my brother shared a room, he'd sit out in the hallway, and he plays guitar, and he has this voice, it's very folk, and very, I guess, mountain music, kind of like country, but he would always sing of a seafarer chanting, it was, I don't know, it's really good. I used to have it on a CD, and I have no clue where it's at now, but,
If you could find it, I'd put a song on the end of it.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
It's so
that'd
good.
be
He
really
used to
cool.
always sing songs in the hallway and play on the guitar about all of, his adventures, but we never, us as kids, we didn't really pay attention to it. We just figured it was like a lullaby putting us to sleep.
That's awesome.
Little did you know that there was carnage of people stuck in walls and rails, and it wasn't so sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be awful.
Yeah, it's like Ring Around the
Don't make it
Rosie.
sound
Yeah, that's a joke.
That stuff I fell asleep with, but I'll have to ask him, and I'll have to follow up with y'all and let y'all know what he thinks about it and what he says about it, because he would sing about certain things, but he never really talked very much about him being a Navy man, which is kind of different and weird now that I think about it, because he was still in the reserves afterwards, and
He knows something,
he
Kristen.
never,
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
well,
he's got the intel.
Yep.
so I guess I've never really heard him talk about it, and no one really ever asked me about it, which is kind of sad now, I guess. So now I need to ask him.
So
Yeah,
what-
well, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you say? You said you believe in it? Yes or no? Maybe so?
It's hard for me to believe in such big technology back then, especially if it hasn't been done again. And that's...
Who says it hasn't?
Well,
though?
I guess I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know,
true.
but...
That's where the Montauk project comes into play, because people say it's still going on. It's,
Is it now?
well, we'll get into that one day.
Tyler. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yep.
It probably wasn't in San Diego.
I believe that I think that it could have been done, and it could have been to the extent, but I think that people telling the story over time have made it to be kind of bigger than what it is. I believe it could have been they were doing certain experiments and this is what happened, but I believe the setting people on fire and trying to turn them back into human thing.
They didn't set them on fire.
Yeah, they did.
They combusted
They
when
touched
they
the
touched.
ghost. They said they tried to touch the ghost and turn it back to life. And when they touched them, then it turned into...
They combusted.
They combusted. They set them on fire. It combusted. They
But
set
it
them on
wasn't.
fire when
It
they were
was
touching.
accidental. It wasn't like
Right.
they purposely.
So it was they were set on fire by touching them.
Because
But-
they didn't touch their belly buttons in the right way.
Didn't caress them. But
Yeah.
that's I think that over time, when a story gets told, that more gets added to it, and it gets more kind of extravagant in a way. So I believe that it happened, but not to such an extreme that they think that it or say that it has.
I'm gonna say that it's true, until we do the research on the Montauk project and I really find out what's going on there.
Until my dad goes, yeah, my dad was there.
Well, the reason I'm saying that is because if they continued some type of research and it's connected to the Philadelphia experiment, then that seems... plus, I would like to think that time travel is real. Teleportation. I like all that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Oh, if it is. No, I'm just kidding.
But, like I said, until we do the research on the Montauk project, I couldn't... There was one documentary I was trying to watch that someone just put together on YouTube, and what was... Oh, he said the word idea about 47 times in the first 5 minutes, but every time he said it, he would say idea.
No.
Oh my god! And I looked in the comments, and people were like, "I can't take another word, the word idea again."
See, I feel like
yep,
if time traveling is such a thing, like the way that we present things from now until like when medicine was coming out, they would all be in the streets and everything, being like, "Oh yeah, take this medicine. This is what's gonna happen." Blah blah. And they would parade it around and they would praise it. But now we're so secretive with everything. I feel like if we were back then, like in those medicine times, they'd be like, "Come out, one, come all, look, time travel," and blah, blah, blah. And they'd be like, "You, sir, come up here."
I think you're thinking of people that sold snake oil and like...
Medicines.
They were like, come
those
buy
are
this.
medicines.
This'll help
Cough
you.
syrups. Yes, those are medicines.
Yeah, snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
Medicine. Jesus.
Well, guys, so y'all want to plug all y'all stuff?
Sure. Bill, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, we're the Tattooed Bananas. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and you could Gmail to us at inkbananas.
There you go.
I heard you guys were on Pornhub, too.
Oh, yeah, and Grindr.
and Grindr, yeah.
And Grindr.
Banana posts.
I knew y'all were familiar.
Tinder.
Yeah, just search for anything banana related, and it should just come up for us.
A banana injection usually works good.
Yeah, we will take any publicity. We're not picky.
Banana related searches on Pornhub.
Oh yes, they play golf frisbee.
We do.
Yeah.
Do y'all like that?
Yeah, it's fun.
We call it frolf usually.
Oh, you're a bad man, Bill. Nobody. Have you guys done any disc golfing yet?
No.
I think that some people play it out next to our park that's here, but I don't think we have. There's somewhere close that there is a disc golf course, but we haven't been to one or even tried it.
You should. It's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we met some
Frisbees
cool
are
people.
weird though compared to a normal frisbee. It'll blow your mind. Put it in a little tiny bottle.
Aren't they expensive?
No, they're
Some
like
of them are.
they're like $8 or $10 for the cheaper ones.
I saw one on eBay for $10,000. What are you talking about?
But you use one frisbee throughout the game.
Yeah, I don't know the rules. That'd be the other problem. I'd have to learn how to play it.
Well, because I suck at just doing a regular frisbee, so I don't think I could really do golf frisbee.
Maybe this would be easier.
They're oddly different.
Well, why don't you guys belly button time travel down here and teach us how to play it?
Yeah.
Done. Yeah, where are you guys in the great state of Tejas?
We are like an hour and a half north of Dallas.
Okay.
Right on the border. We can spit into Oklahoma.
Yeah, as you should. Fucking
Maybe
Sooners.
Wow, they're not even from Texas. They already hate Oklahoma. I like that.
Yeah, that's horrible. They
Isn't
already
one of
have
us
such a
from
bad
Oklahoma?
reputation. Well, they kind of bring it upon themselves.
That place sucked.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you for coming on our show.
Thanks for having us. This was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope we didn't bore you too much with all our information and reading. And
No, it was awesome.
I didn't mess up.
Yeah.
I didn't mess up as half as much as I normally do, though.
That you know of.
Y'all are,
It's not over yet.
yeah, y'all are lucky
Yeah, there's
bananas.
still time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're lucky bananas. That's a good idea.
There you
Maybe
go,
I should
yeah.
put a banana on my keychain.
Make a sticker.
Little furry banana like a furry rabbit's foot.
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah, I forgot to
Toby's
say.
gonna have a furry banana on his keychain. I'm not gonna
Please,
screw up
please
now.
don't let me fuck up. Please don't let me fuck up.
Wait, so the podcast radio network.
Yes.
We're coming for you guys.
Oh,
you're in that,
yeah.
You're in that spot above us, so watch your fucking
Yeah,
backs.
we had like 100 more listeners or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean,
What?
Those-
I don't
they're-
even know. I don't follow this. I don't follow
they're
this
coming over to
anything.
us this month. Watch your backs.
On the radio
I don't
show
know.
that we're on every Monday.
I see what y'all did there. Y'all tricked anyone that listens to us to come listen to y'all.
Oh, see?
Delete.
Damn it.
Control Alt Delete right now.
Get
it out of here.
That they could have people that listen to them come listen to us.
Yeah.
Too now.
I still think it's a banana conspiracy.
Yeah, well,
It probably is. I mean, we're on that Sunday night spot, so that's a pretty quality time slot.
Oh,
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
We're on Mondays.
We're on Mondays at 6.
Yeah.
Here's my cheap plug since I'm
Oh,
already
but
doing-
Mondays
Mo-
are good.
Mondays,
You know why?
6
Because
p.m.
Monday at
Eastern
6
time.
p.m. people are coming home from work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah,
Ooh,
right.
Yeah.
We're on Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern.
People
when,
are in church at that time.
People are in church.
People are in church at 7 p.m. on Sundays.
At
Who?
night.
We still love you. It's
Yes.
okay if you go to church and miss our show. You know,
Just
we
stream it.
understand.
It's a
Stream
thought
it from
that counts.
church.
Thoughts don't count
or
on
they could be,
podcasting.
or they could be listening to their show while at church.
Ah,
Yeah.
see?
that- for all your
God
stuff.
will understand.
Sins. Sins.
So
Sins.
That's another good bumper
What
sticker,
did you
Bill.
learn?
You could say, listen to the
Tattooed
tattooed bananas. God will understand.
Philadelphia
good.
experiment?
With the rotisserie bead picture.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Perfect. But yeah, this was fun, guys. Thanks for having us on. We really appreciate it.
So, this is how we normally just say goodbye, but since y'all are our guests, I want to say poop on nature.
Shoot it in the fucking face.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's half of it.
What? Oh, I don't know. What's the other part of it?
Just let that love into your butt.
Damn it! I forgot it.
But that's tough because it's usually a two-person job there where Bill
Yeah.
just jumps in. So
I do the nasally part.
he didn't step up.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on, and that's gonna be it for the show.
All right.
Bye.
Bye,
Auf
guys.
Wiedersehen.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. So that's it for this week's episode. You can go follow the Tattooed Bananas on Twitter. It's just @Tattooed Bananas. I will have it in the description also. You can find their show on iTunes, probably in a couple other places. I listen to them on iTunes, so you can find us on iTunes. You can rate, review, and subscribe. That would be awesome. You can also find us on Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube. You can email us at secrettransmission@hotmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at secrettranspod. You can listen to us every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the Podcast Radio Network. And remember, we are weekly now. So please come back and listen to us try to explain the unexplainable.
Up in here.
Again, I'm very bad at...
Now I'm sad we turned off the video. I want to see what's going on.
Oh no, Toby did turn on the video.
It gets kind of nasty sometimes.
Yeah, I like it.
Since me and Tyler are brothers, you know, the incest and all.
Nice. There we go.
This
This is exactly what we
There
talked
it
about.
is, yeah.
This is where I start fucking up because I forget how I introduced the show. So...
You forget?
I forget. I know it's just me
We're like
saying...
30 episodes in and you forget?
How do I start it?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
Okay.
Thank you.